Hi everyone, just got back. We had a few bits to do in town. Picked up George from school, and it's still chucking it down with rain. There's not really a lot to do. It's meant to rain for I think the next 10 days. So I then started thinking, well, rainy days generally once we get the jobs done, I quite like to have a couple of beers, watch TV. There's not really much else to do. So I thought I'd do not a beer review, but I'd show you some of the beers that I drink. I generally go for price because, in my opinion, lager, beer, it's all similar. I have preferences, like this one here, top beer. I've had it once before. I think it was Lucy's dad that bought it actually, but I remember having one ages ago. And then Dad bought a case while he was here, and I had a few left. But top beers, like your cheap sort of like holiday beer. It's not, doesn't taste bad. There's no distinct flavour. It just tastes like cheap beer, which it is cheap beer, and that's one of the reasons why I like it. I don't know what the percentage is. 5%. But yeah, it tastes alright. What I want to do in this video is just have a chat, just talk about stuff while having a beer. I'm going to do it regardless whether you're with me or not, so might as well sink a few and have a chat. But yeah, so the jobs are all done for the day. It's now time just to have a couple of these, do dinner, probably get an early night to be honest. I think I might be working with Lucy's dad on the farm tomorrow, but because of the rain, maybe not, I don't know what, but I ain't bothered either way. There's not enough here to get me sozzled, although this one is pretty hardcore. Hence why I'm drinking these ones first, because that one can get a bit hairy. But anyway, cheers. Yeah, it's nice, crisp, it's decent. I do drink vodka as well. I like vodka, and I don't get too hungover with vodka. I'm not too bad, but we tend not to buy it because it's more expensive. It doesn't last that long. A beer, I don't know, minis. I could have 12 minis throughout like the day. And be, it feels like I've had a nice drink, but not too much, which probably sounds excessive, but they're only small bottles. But the reason why the Portuguese drink minis is mainly for the summer, because if you have a bigger beer, or a measure, they say, which is one up from this, it gets warm too quick. They don't drink it fast enough. So this is why you see a lot of people drinking the minis. But there's not a lot of price differences, like 10 or 20 cents between a mini and a measure. So I just get a measure anyway. But yeah, well, I'm going to finish this one. I thought in this video I could just talk about like what I watch, what I do in my spare time. Obviously I have George and he takes up a lot of the time, which I enjoy, chucking him around the room and winding him up, and yeah, it's awesome. But I also spend a lot of time watching YouTube videos. And a wide range of YouTube videos, anything from gaming videos to we're actually sat in the office and I'm staring at the computer screens, and I was going to go down my YouTube history and just show you what sort of stuff or genres that I watch, because if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll probably do the same thing. You can spend hours on YouTube. In fact, we spend most of our time on YouTube compared to Netflix or anything else. In fact, I don't even know why we pay for Netflix. We don't use it. But yeah, I watch so many different things on YouTube. Cars, trucks, games, a lot of cooking videos, tutorials, you name it. Music's a big one for me. when I'm playing, I've got the Xbox, my PlayStation here. I play, this is a really sad game, a lot of you might not know what it is, but it's called RuneScape, or in this case, old school RuneScape. And I've been playing it since I was in school. So, and it just takes up so much time. I've got a few friends that play it, but because it takes up so much time, you can get lost in it. But I don't play it as much now, but it's still, everyone has their way of unwinding, and beer and computer games and YouTube, that's my way of unwinding. Well, that one's finished. Cheers, Dad, appreciate it. The next one, Super Bowl. This is one of the more common ones in Portugal. You either get, in most of the bars, you either get Superboc or Sagres. Sagres for me, it's very much like the top beer. Just, there's not that much flavour. Pardon me. There's not that much flavour. Where this one, how can I describe it? Like Stella Artois, it's got that like tang to it at the end. Like it's got like quite a deep flavour. Superboc's very much the same, but I think, well, I'm pretty sure this is slightly higher percentage. Yeah, this one's 5.2, and Sagres is only 5, which, in my opinion, even the top beer and Sagres, Superboc, anything like 5% or over, I class that as a premium beer. You know, in England, like, what is it, Carlsberg? What's Carlsberg, like 3.7% or 3.5? I don't know, but I know Carlsberg's not that strong, but then, you know, that for me is like a normal lager, which I don't particularly like. But then, like, you've got your Stella Artois, your Kronenberg, anything over 5%, I think, is like a premium beer. But over here, top beer, I mean, it's cheap as chips. I can't remember what that case cost. Superboc at our local bar for a media, so it's bigger than this one, about that big, is €1. And that's at the main square. If we go just round the corner, like literally just round the corner from that, I think it's either 80 or 90 cent for a media. 80 or 90 cent. You know, and you go to England and you're paying like £5 plus for a pint. It's nuts. How can anyone afford to do that and enjoy themselves? Well, not be funny. We all go down. The only reason why we drink is because you either had a rubbish day, you want to numb your brain, but more importantly, you go down the pub, or you know, you have a couple of beers to socialise, to unwind, to just talk rubbish to other people. You know, it's people have been doing it for years. And I'm guilty for it. I can go down the pub. Last time, when we got married in England, I used to go down the pub, and I wouldn't think anything of spending 70 quid down the pub. And that's, you know, me, maybe a bag of crisps or peanuts or whatever, 6 or 7 pints, and then maybe a couple for other people. And before you know it, you've spent loads of money. Where here, you go out with €10, I guarantee you'll be drunk. You know you've had a beer. Oh, well, on the exception of my dad. But yeah, it might cost him 15, maybe €20. But anyway, Superboc, it tastes good. I go for this one because it doesn't affect, a lot of beer affects my belly. Like, I'll wake up in the morning and I'm straight away got to go to the toilet, and then it's the same again every hour. So this one doesn't affect me as much. I'm pretty good on this. And it doesn't leave me with like really dry mouth in the night. For a lager, it's quite common, but anyway, cheers. The next one, I mean, I do like a Superboc. I actually bought a case out. It's a bit more dear when you go to the shops. But this one here, you might even be able to get this in England. This is a Lidl special. This is their like cheap brand. I think I pay $1.60 for 6 of these Coke can size beers, and this is 5% as well. So for me, we normally shop in Lidl. This is probably the beer that I drink the most. It tastes nice. It's easier for me to drink out of cans and get rid of it. Because we've got glass bottles. It's not as easy to store them, because obviously I'd like to try and recycle where I can, because we've got the bins just down the road, but I don't particularly like stocking up loads of glasses because they only sit in the corner of the room. We've got George running around, it's not even worth the risk. But cans, crush them up, put them in the bin. Yeah, this is really nice. As long as it's cold, all of these beers, if they're, bar this one you don't want to drink ice cold. But this one's a bit different. But this is, I can't remember where I first had it. I think Lucy bought one for me at Christmas. Normally, at Christmas, she's a lot more like present orientated. I don't know how to describe it, but at Christmas she goes nuts. And she normally like makes up this little hamper. I think I had a Christmas box for about 2 or 3 years, and she just fills it with chocolates or anything like chocolate, sweet, crisps, beer, you name it. But this is something else. And I actually like the design on the can just as much as I do the drink, but it's one of them drinks where the first one's rough and it gets better and better and better. Which obviously I know everyone out there is going, oh yeah, well, the more you drink, the more you get drunk. It's not the case. If you're drinking like an Imperial IPA or any IPA, anything or a bitter, the first one's always a bit harsh. The second one's better, and by the third, you just nip it back. It's nice. But this one is strong. And that one's from Lidl as well. But the only thing I've had to eat today was some scrambled eggs, so God help Lucy later. So let's crack this one open. Let's talk about some of this YouTube stuff. So, music-wise, depending on what mood I'm in, anyone that suffers from mental health or anything relatable or related to that whatsoever, knows that music can help, but it can also make it worse. But yeah, I like any sort of rock and roll. I love like Nickelback. If I'm sitting like today, a rainy day, Nickelback all day, I love it. But if I'm sitting outside in the sun and a couple of beers with Lucy and George and running around the garden, or even the pool when we first moved in, because it was so hot, we bought a paddling pool. Yeah, like drum and bass, dubstep, club music, old like 80s and 90s classics, anything like that. It's with music, I'll pretty much listen to anything, but I've got, depending on what mood I'm in. You'll laugh now. I don't even think I've told my parents this, but I'm really in. I've never done it. I've been camping, and shout out to Jack and Georgie when we went to Waxham Sounds, and we camped out there for a couple of days, and that was absolutely banging. That was a mega holiday, full of beer, jumping in the sea. The weather was nice. Oh, the weather was so hot for England. We were like, me and Jack burn anyway, and poor old Georgie, she has to pretty much hide away from the sun. But it was one of them times where, like, you just drink all day, and because it was something different we hadn't done before, we just sat there talking, which is dangerous. You talk all day. There was no delay in conversation, so we were drinking all day. But yeah, that was a sick holiday for like a camping holiday. You couldn't have asked for any better. But yeah, I'm into I love watching like bushcraft. So when they make like shelters, you know, like fires, but more like outside cooking, you know, like over the fire cooking, anything, just YouTube bushcraft. I like when they sit there. There's a few people I watch, like one of these geezers. His YouTube channel is called Hayes Outdoors, and he's so down to earth. I feel like it's relatable, like, cause I mean I don't drink wine, but this geezer, he's I think he's a northerner, and he's so honest. Like he does it because he enjoys it. He doesn't. He just posts it on YouTube because I think it gives him motivation. I think he struggled in one of his videos. He was saying that he struggled for a long time with mental health, and YouTube helped him, give him motivation to go out and do stuff. But it's just the stuff he says, the way he says it, it's so down to earth and relatable. He doesn't lie, he doesn't make up anything. It's straight to the point. He sits there. I've never seen anything like it. He'll sit there and have a bottle of wine and just swig it out of the bottle. But he'll do a lot of like he'll just sit there and talk about stuff. You know, he works. He's still got a day job and that. But yeah, check him out. Hayes Outdoors. Watch him do what he does. That's awesome. His videos aren't that long, 20 minutes, half hour, but the honesty in that is funny. His humour is really, really good. So yeah, I want to say like bushcraft is a hobby, but it's not because I've never done it. But here in Portugal, I think like wild camping is illegal because obviously wildfires. You just can't, you know, walk out into the forest and camp somewhere. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Another YouTube channel, Joel Hansen, Beard Meets Food, any of that. I love watching food challenges. I don't know what it is. Love it, absolutely love it. There's something about watching someone eat, and all these food challenges, they're all like big old burgers, or I mean, this one I'm looking at here he's labelled it up as Monster Chicken Fried Steak Challenge, over 3,000 fails. It looks like a biscuit, green beans, mashed potato, and just like crispy chicken with like looks like a sausage gravy, I don't know, but it looks mega, like, it looks nice. I love watching them. When Dad was over here, we were watching a few of them. Yeah. Yeah, so I love cooking. Where it's a food challenge, I can watch. We were watching it just recently. We've got back into MasterChef, like the old ones. We're just re-watching them. Mainly because me and Lucy are both into cooking. We love it. In Portugal, we're fairly limited because we're still sort of finding our feet. We're still, you know, we're not the richest people in the world. If I had all the money, if I had the money, I would go out every week and buy T-bone steaks, suckling pigs. I actually done, me, Joe and Lucy's brother and Clinton, we all cooked suckling pig. I can remember, I'll never forget it. Always wanted to do a suckling pig, if you don't know, is a pig that's only ever had milk from its mother. It's never had any artificial food, no nothing. So it's basically a baby pig, but they get pretty. I mean, the last one I saw was big. The one we had was pretty big. I can't remember what I paid for it, about 70 or 80 euros. But there's a lot of meat on it. I mean, it's not the sort of thing you want to do every week, not unless you're rich, but it was my birthday, and I can remember me and Joe, we travelled miles and miles, just going backwards and forwards. I'd seen, well, he saw he'd seen one as well, but I knew they'd sold them. It's like a spit. about so big, but it's electronic. You just put batteries in it, and it turns itself. So I thought, yeah, that would do. At their farm, they had like a half an oil drum, all split open and that. So I dug a fire pit. I put calçadas around the edge. I think they were like 2 or 3 deep and wide, so there was no worry about a fire. Although it was, well, it must have been in December. It must have been. For those who don't know, my birthday is 30th December, so I'm assuming it must have been then. So it was pretty cold, so you wouldn't have to worry about a fire anyway. But we started, I don't know, maybe 10, and for whatever, I think it was because this pig was pretty big, and it didn't have the guts to turn it round. So anyway, I had to hunt because I'd been looking forward to this for so long. I had to go for a walk around the farm. Lucy's parents, their farm is massive. So it took me 15 minutes to walk around it, just cool down. You know, I had young. But by the time I got back, Lucy's brother and Joe, her father Clint, had rigged up like basically like a metal bar, but we used the forks on the front and the back. I got the pig anyway. I split it, took all the organs out of it, and I sewed the belly back up to stop it from burning. And well, long story short, we done it, but we had to keep turning it manually. Like I think there was a nail in these 2 bits of cherry wood either side, and there was 2 holes drilled in. It's like a metal rod either side with 2 bits of wood in, and then we drilled holes so we could turn it, like 4 holes, so we could turn it and turn it. You know, it worked. But we were out there from about 10 o'clock until God knows what time. This was all pre-George. We didn't have George at the time. But I'll never ever forget that night, because the pork come out mega. Like, we just sat there just all day. Like, it was perfect weather. It was a bit chilly because the fire was going, it kept it warm. And we just sat there all day until the early hours. And I can remember I was speaking to my mum, and I must have had about 3 or 4 litres of beer at this point. And I can remember standing up, and I just went, I just fell over. But I fell over like face first, but with like a beer. I just went donk on the floor, but I kept the beer upright. But where it hit the floor, the beer just went what? The beer, it just went everywhere. Oh God, I dread to think what Lucy's parents thought of me at that point. Actually, that was the night. That was the night where. I was just so happy. I said to Luce, I just said, you know what? I'm ready for kids. In front of everyone, I said, you know what? Let's have a kid. And shout out to my son George. That was best decision I've ever made. As a husband, as a father, and for myself. It made me a better person. Like, I don't know, I can't describe it. Like, coming home or just seeing George's face makes me feel better. Yeah, it's difficult, and you know, money's a factor, but for anyone that's thinking about having kids, you can't think like that. You can't. You make it work. No one's got the money for kids unless you're a multi-millionaire, and even so, if you're a multi-millionaire, they're going to want Ferraris, Lambos, they're going to want the best education. You live by your means. And my lifestyle has changed completely. In England, I always had nice motors. I had a Nissan Skyline, R32 Skyline, when I was, 20, 21? That's like the money that I spent on, you know, that car and the insurance, like people spend on a deposit for a house. Where now, I'm driving a Honda Civic Aero Deck. Like, that's the difference that my life has changed. Like, I don't care where I've got new clothes, old clothes, I don't care. My priorities lie with Lucy and George now. And that's the best thing I've ever done. You know, who cares about it? Like, all the other things that don't matter. What matters is family. But everyone goes through different changes, you know. I'm not saying that you know, go out and have a kid and that'll be the best thing you've ever done, because it's not. Everyone's different. I'm just telling you what happened to me, and why I think it's changed me for the better. Mind you, Lucy might tell you different. But yeah, let's change the subject. One of George's cartoons just popped up on the YouTube history. He loves them cartoons, and now he's going to school. He's seeing less of it. It's not a bad thing because he's going to learn Portuguese at school, but you know, it's nice for him to learn both. It's literally just all food, music, and cars basically. Oh, spice. Love spice. Spicy sauces, spicy food. I like watching people do like chili challenges and all that. That's pretty cool. This is what happens when you go down the pub. You just waffle, you just talk. But you don't realise, but as you talk when you're down the pub, you're releasing like the stress from the week, you know? I just love it. I do miss, like the bars here, they're different because in England, anyone that goes down the pub on a Friday afternoon after work, they're in there for one. They're all in there for the same thing. Don't know what to talk about now. This beer's nice though. Lucy bought me for Christmas. It might be my birthday actually, because my birthday's so close to Christmas. It's just one big blur. But yeah, this is a RuneScape book that they released. This is basically the game that I play, but it's like really detailed. It explains how they made the game. It's awesome. So I keep it up there. It's actually sitting on my computer. Been watching like Harley Davidson videos. My father bought he's got a Kawasaki. I can't remember what it is. It's either 1100 or 1300, so it's a big bike. When we went over last time, we got it running. It hadn't been started for a while. So yeah, he's got that. He's just recently bought a Harley Davidson trike. I don't know what type it is. It's a machine though. I'll put a picture up on the screen of my mum and dad on it. I think they went down Essex or something like that, somewhere down that way for a little run out. But it's so nice to see my parents do that sort of thing, because when, obviously in the last year I explained, my parents, basically they paid for me to do motocross when I was in school. You know, I've had so many bikes. I can remember they bought me, I moved up to the class because I weren't particularly good. Well, I'm not particularly good anyway, I was always slow, but I had a 125 YZ 125, and it looked awesome, and it was a really nice bike. We went to like a motocross dealership for some spare parts, probably an air filter, because you get through them left, right and centre. Maybe I didn't even go, I can't remember, because I knew it was a surprise. My parents, or my dad, said, "Cool, look at that." And it was virtually a brand new YZ125. So I had one, but it was a slightly older model. Weren't even that old. I mean, this is when I was in school, and it was I'm sure it was a 2003 model. But they saw this new one. I can't remember what year it was, but I know it was virtually brand new. All aluminium frame, and it was mint. It was absolutely mint. Didn't have a mark on it. For a motocross bike, it was immaculate. And they bought it. And so at this point, I should probably explain a bit further. I've got a few photos that I'm going to get Lucy to put up on the screen. For a kid, a normal kid, come from a normal family, but my parents worked hard for what they gave me and my brother. So we had this van, right? It was an Iveco Turbo Daily, and it was we basically made it into a camper, because I stayed in that, I slept in that. There's two sections, like garage part for both of these bikes. Bear in mind I had the 03, and I want to say it was an 07 or 08, might have been 09, I can't remember. So I had a practice bike and a race bike, and I had this camper van to stay in, which was all kitted out with stereo, awning, music, TV, had its own TV. That was awesome. This beer, well, it's not even a beer, it's an IPA, but this beer is kind of special to me because when George was he a month old, obviously with the build up to it, I had it before then, but obviously I had 6 months of where I couldn't drink a thing because obviously Lucy was pregnant. If the baby come early, which he did, but if he had come early or anything like that, I'd have to quickly rush Lucy to hospital. So I cut the drink for 6 months. Actually, might have been 3 months. This is the one of the first beers that I had after, and I like this beer because the design on the can, I just think it looks cool. I don't know. I just like it. It just looks. I like the branding. I think that's what attracted me to it. It says on the side, "Let's oil the gears of life." And I tell you what, this does do that. It's thick like oil, and it's 7.8% volume, and the taste is like no other. But after a couple, it's nice. You ain't got to rush it. It ain't got to be ice cold. And I can just remember having a few on Lucy's dad's farm after work. I'm just thinking, yeah, I like it here, it's nice. Just looking over through the cherry orchard and that. You know, we were just sort of, we were settled in Portugal obviously, but we were just cracking on. But yeah, this IPA is mega. And again, it's a Lidl own brand, cheap as chips. And they've always got stock of it because it's not for the faint-hearted. Oh, it smells fruity and all, but it's nice. I do like it. What else do you want to talk about? I wish like we had like more subscribers. I wish I could do a live stream, because I do this all the time. I do this every Friday night if you wanted to, where I'd make it a live stream and then we can talk to each other. Yeah, that'd be mega. But yeah, a lot of I'll tell you what, my brother would like this. I watch a geezer on YouTube called Fooster, Fooster. He does a lot of survival games, but like his narration of the game is really, really good. So it's like, yes, he's playing a video game, but it's also like watching a film or a documentary. It's really, really good. So yeah, go watch that, Scott. I know you like that. Drifting. There's another one. Love drifting. Shite at it. Terrible. but I do like drifting. All sorts of cars as well. Anything from, you know, Lamborghinis, you know, Lamborghini Murcielago, one of my favourite cars. Wouldn't want to own one because the seating position is like you're laying down. You can't see nothing. I've only ever sat in one, and it's awful. You know, it's not a comfortable position. Like, I mean, yeah, I suppose it's like anything, you get used to it, but it's one of the things. Like, I was devastated when I first sat in it because I thought, not that I'd ever afford one, but I was like, oh my god, this feels awful. But yeah, you know. I can't describe the taste. It's like drinking 40 weight oil, but it has a nice like fruity aftertaste. So the aftertaste is nice, but when you first take a swig, you're like, But after a couple, I'm telling you, if you see this in Lidl, buy it. Just try it. What else? Oh, I can remember Jack and Georgie come over for a little holiday for a week. And at the time, we were working in the office here for most of the morning, and we just sat there watching like Nürburgring confirmations and rally crashes and anything like that. I love it, absolutely love it. I don't know why that's come up. Tennis, no idea. No idea. I don't watch tennis. The only thing that I associate with tennis is my nan, because she loves watching tennis. So shout out, Nan. Hope you're right. I know you're watching. Yeah. Can't go wrong with Gordon Ramsay. Love him. He's awesome. I mean, I saw a documentary on him, and apparently he's actually not a particularly nice bloke, but to watch and see him grief other people is brilliant. Whistling Diesel. This geezer. Take it how you. A lot of people don't like him, but he's successful because he'll go out and buy like a brand new pickup, like a real nice pickup, and just trash it. You know, just big old farm. He'll basically put it into a swamp, roll it, crash it. He's got two R32 Skyline GTRs. Both very, especially in America, like expensive motors. Like, I don't know how much they cost, but they're a lot of money. Probably more than what most people spend on a house. And he just ruins them. Randy Santel, that's another like food challenge bloke. Oh god, he can eat. Some of like the stuff they eat, like this breakfast challenge. I mean, it looks mega, but it's got what, 8 eggs on there. Today I had 5 scrambled eggs and a round of toast, and I was struggling. And this geezer, like, they could just eat. I don't know where they put it. I mean, he's a pretty big bloke, but even so. Oh, this is another one. Eric the Electric. He's a bit weird, but again, he can eat. I swear to God, I've just been waffling. Absolutely waffling. I can eat waffle. You remember like them potato waffles that you get? Oh, they're mega. I think George has got how this is Halloween, but you know, like the potato smiley faces you get. We found some in Lidl, but they're like a Halloween version, but they still look like smiley faces. But yeah. But yeah, all these beers, if you can get them in Lidl or Tesco's, Asda, you name it, try them. But these are just some. I might just go out and buy, like, because they're not dear. If you buy them by like a separate bottle, just buy like in a range of different beers and maybe do it, like, I don't know, once a month. Once a month, I'll do a video like this and just have like 4 or 5 beers. And I'll try and live stream it, I don't know. I've got my notepad here. I was just jotting things down for like future videos and vlogs. I think maybe big thing what I'll do is next time I do this sort of thing, I'll also get some like bar snacks. Me and my dad had a few. You can get these like they're like fish cakes, but like not breadcrumbs. It's like more of a batter, and they're really nice. Even cold, they're nice. Yeah. So I don't know if we're going to do it this week or next week. Well, me and Lucy are going to do another food challenge, but we're both going to make our own pizzas. We used to do this in England all the time, because we're quite. Lucy's a good cook. I'm alright, but I'm better. I know I'm better. She's gonna cut this out, so it doesn't matter. But we quite often try and like bounce off each other and do challenges. So we're both gonna make our own pizzas, and yeah, we'll let you decide in the comments which one you think looks better. So that'll be fun. Here's one. Lucy likes it more than what I do. The YouTube name is At Home with the Buckleys, and the Buckleys basically, if you watch the In-Betweeners, you know Jay at the In-Betweeners, he's actually got two YouTube channels. He's got a gaming one and that one. But Jay at the In-Betweeners is exactly the same on YouTube as he is on the films. He's an absolute idiot. Funny, but yeah, we watch that quite a lot. That's quite funny. I don't know what else to talk about. I should have prepped a lot more, but this is something that I thought about and I really wanted to do, because it's so easy just to have a couple of beers. You know, I'm talking to you guys, and it's a bit more like relaxed. So, you know, my parents can watch this and be like, "Yep, still rattles on, but same old rubbish." But even my nan, you know, and Lucy's nan and granddad, Jenny and Simon, awesome. All of them, you know, they've all helped us out so much. Love you guys. Yeah, Simon, I hope you're still drinking out your glass. Well, no, big shout out to you guys. I miss you a lot. I know Lucy speaks to you all the time, but they help us a lot. Oh man, another one of my. It's not a hobby. Well, I say it's a hobby, but I love barbecues, right? But when I say not like your traditional like sausage and burgers, anyone can do that. I'm talking like American barbecue, like brisket. I've done burnt ends in England, and that's when it all started. We used to have a little flat back in England, and I'd done burnt ends in the oven, and I tell you what, they were mega, absolutely mega, and that's when it all started. Now we've got this place, just smoking meat, and I bought a small smoker that I had on Lucy's dad's farm, and once a week I used to smoke meat on that, and that was good. Predominantly it's just pork, because pork's cheap. If it burns or goes wrong, so be it. I've had a couple of beers and I've had a nice. I enjoy sitting there, you know, just smoking meat. You know, I enjoy it, but originally, when we got married, I said that for a honeymoon, I'd love to go to America, for like a honeymoon, and I just want that. I want to try American barbecue because they do it better. You can say what you want, but American barbecue just looks the best. Like their briskets, the burnt ends, even their like hot dogs. You know, I know their hot dogs are not like proper butchers, like meaty sausages. They're like hoof and tooth sort of thing, but they still look good. Yeah, I don't know. I just love American barbecue. Like this video I'm looking at now, it's Texas barbecue, which is generally a pretty basic barbecue. I think they just use like salt, pepper, you know, onion powder, garlic powder, just minimal sort of like flavourings that they add to it, but it just looks awesome. That just reminded me of another channel. I know my dad watches it all the time and my brother. Let's see if I can find it. I think it's called Barbecue Pit Boys, but I just need to double check. Yeah, yeah. Anyone that wants to laugh and likes cooking stuff, even if it's not barbecue, but just YouTube Barbecue Pit Boys. The commentary that they do is funny. Yeah, yeah. Some of their videos are nuts, and they've been going a long time, you know. I mean, this one was just a video. I'm looking at 12 years ago. 12 years ago they started making videos, so yeah, they got to be worth a watch. The time here now, it's 4:45. I'm gonna only grab like spaghetti bolognese tonight, but I need to wrap it up. We've been going 59 minutes 30, nearly an hour. Right, we've got 30 seconds to neg this, and then that is it. Because otherwise, it'll take Lucy a week to edit this. Oh, it definitely oils the gears of life.